Hi everybody, I'm Joy McClymont and thanks for joining me today on this webinar, which is actually about attitude and action. So yes, you're probably expecting me to talk about something to do with fitness and some sporty concept or even a motivational topic. But today I'm talking about one of the most critical underlying issues when it comes to whether you are successful in your health and fitness journey. Now, honestly, what gives me the right to talk about this? Well, it's a lot of things. One is my own personal experience with how my attitude determined how I achieved anything, or in fact, my mindset going into a challenge or anything like that. Attitude is the underlying issue that we have when it comes to approaching something that's difficult. It's all determined by what attitude we have. Now, when I'm coaching and training people in my hub, I've nearly had, 2,000 people come through my program, and I've learned so much about what types of attitudes are the successful types. And this might seem a little bit serious, but honestly, I can almost pick it. If a person has a bad attitude towards their health and indeed what they think they're capable of achieving or not achieving, I can almost pick it that they're the ones that are going to be successful or not. It all comes back to attitude. So I decided to put together these 10 indicators that I believe show whether a person is going to be successful on their health and fitness journey and whether they're actually going to maintain it for life. Not just for the length of the program, but whether they've got the attitude that will carry them through everything within their life that gets them through all the tough stuff. And we know we're all faced with tough stuff, so it really comes back to our attitude and our actions towards those attitudes. So that's what I'm going to be explaining today. It's really cool to have you here listening. I apologize for the dodgy bunks in the back. Yep, my children are sleeping in odd spots at the moment. But sit back, relax, and get your pen and paper ready because I'm going to give you some questions along the way. Okay, so first action or attitude that we're going to talk about is believing in the benefits of good health and fitness to your body and mind. Now, you might think that this is stock standard. Surely everyone would believe in the benefits of good health and fitness. Well, no. Some people say that they believe in it. They sort of, half want to get on the bandwagon of, yeah, I know I should be healthy and fit. But they don't truly believe that it impacts on the way that they work, the way that they relate to their children. They don't believe that it impacts on, the way that they have their energy levels through the day, the way that they're always tired. They don't think their health and fitness has any impact on that. They honestly think it's something that, I'm just going through a bad patch, or my life's really busy at the moment. It's nothing to do with my health and fitness. It's got everything to do with these external factors. They don't innately believe that their health and fitness is at the heart of that. So one of the most critical underlying elements of a good attitude is to believe that however or whatever is going wrong in your life, or not feeling so great, or whatever's not working for you, I am 100% sure that has got something to do with how healthy and fit you are. Now, we all know how health and fitness determines our mindset. And I can't reiterate how close that connection is. When a person is healthy and fit, they think clearly, they problem solve, they handle stress more effectively. When you're not healthy and fit, you struggle with life's challenges pretty darn quickly. So believing that at the core of any issue, it may not be the only thing, but at the core of any issue that you're having in your life, always health and fitness is an important part, has an important part to play in that. You got to believe it. Okay, you got to believe in it. And you've got to truly believe in it and not just say that you believe in it. So that's the first thing. So here's the question for you that you have to think about just quickly as we roll through this. Do you believe in the benefits of good health for your body and mind? Do you believe that that connection exists? Yes or no? I'll give you a couple of seconds to write it down. Just get a little bit of a grasp on that concept. It helps that I was a distance ed teacher once. I need to stop so that people can write and think. Good. Okay, I've given you a little bit of time. We just have to keep rolling. Number 2, attitude and action. Do they give things a try? Now, we all know that when we're faced with a scary, challenging exercise or program or anything in life, the fear factor sets in and we don't really want to give it a go. We're sort of worried we'll fail. Now, the underlying positive attitude of people, when it says, oh yeah, I'll just give it a go, if that is present, then it carries them through so many hurdles throughout life, including health and fitness. Now, I'm dead certain that when you conduct a fitness routine, and it's not all going to be easy. There's things you're going to see, exercises you're going to do. Like in the hub, I get people to do some weird stuff. But it's not only physically beneficial for them, it's actually challenging their mindset about how capable they think they are, whether they're willing to give it a go and not judge too quickly on their level of fitness or ability. Giving things a try, actually challenging yourself and giving it a crack, sometimes that is actually as good a workout if you do the exercise incompletely or imperfect. That's as good a workout as if you did it perfectly. So this attitude where we give things a go regardless of the outcome, that really does have a massive impact on whether people handle challenges, whether they set challenges for themselves and then strive to them. Do they have that instinct in them to give it a go no matter what? So that's what I like to see in people, especially when they've got lots of things they need to achieve and there's a lot of challenging things, especially if you're a beginner. Everything seems like a darn challenge. It's like anything, when you're learning something new, it's like, oh my God, I just want one thing to be easy. But no, everything's tough for a little bit. And then you get a few little wins and a breakthrough, and all of a sudden, that hard work of giving things a go has come back around to make you feel really good. Oh, well, actually, I gave it a go, I gave it a crack, I got in there, I gave it my best, and I end up coming out going, I've actually nailed it. Imagine if we always gave up. Imagine if we never tried anything new. We'd never gave ourselves a chance to improve. And we'd never feel how good it was to actually achieve and improve something. So that's what I want to see in people. I want to see that giving things a go type of attitude. So here's the questions. Do you try to move in a range of ways? Do you challenge yourself to move in a range of ways? Here's your options. Never, sometimes, or often. Now, the reason why I'm asking that question is because physical fitness is not just about moving the same way for years and years. Physical fitness, definitely through the ages, is about using muscles that we may not use in everyday routines, changing our energy system so our bodies don't become so efficient, and that actually is what stabilizes our fitness. We'll get to a point where we're walking every day and nothing's happening. Our fitness is improving, we're not losing any weight, we're not getting any stronger. It's because our bodies aren't challenged. So when you give things a go and you try new things, that's when your body is challenged and that's when you see some benefit. So do you move or challenge yourself in a range of ways? Never, sometimes, or often. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Tick, 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 tick. All right, number 3. It's a want before it's a need. Now, this is a really strange sounding attitude, but I believe that people who actually want to exercise before they say they need to are more likely to maintain it for life. That means they're not locked into exercising. Like the common thing that I hear is that I need to exercise to outrun all of my bad food choices. That can't go on. You can't outrun a bad diet. And in fact, you're only exercising not because of the physical fitness and the benefit and the exhilaration, the vitality it gives you. You're only exercising so you can eat crap. And that's, to me, complete rubbish. So having an attitude where you're actually exercising and wanting to feel fit and healthy because you want to live a certain way, you want to be a certain type of person that is efficient, productive, happy, positive, healthy, all those things. If it's a want rather than I need to do it because I've eaten so much today, I need to lose weight to be a good person. If it's something like that, well, you're locked into it and it's holding you at ransom. That attitude doesn't stay present for long because it's really sort of demoralizing and negative. It's like people who say, I'm exercising so I can see this needle on the scales move or the computer number on the scales move. They're locked into this, I've got to exercise to get that number down on the scales and feel like a successful person that's skinnier and healthier and all those sorts of things. They lock themselves into this idea that that's what determines good health and fitness, is a number on the scales. And they're held at ransom to those scales. Like, oh, I've got to weigh myself. I'm going to be happy if the number says this. I'm going to be really sad and depressed if the number says this. So staying away from the scales is one of my big must-dos for people. I don't care what anybody else says. I don't care if you want to measure your weight and you've got this idea about goal setting when it comes to weight. It screws people's heads. It messes up your mind. Chuck away the scales and go with how you feel. Go with what you want to do and go with what you feel like is fun as well. Because remember, fitness is supposed to make us feel like we're capable of doing all these amazing things in our lives, like jumping around with our kids and playing sport and working hard if we want to, or gardening, whatever it might be. So please, just if you can think of one thing that you can just do to make yourself feel like it's more of a want than a need, then it's a step in the right direction. So here's my question to you. I actually think about wanting to exercise rather than needing to. So do you think about wanting to exercise because it's fun, challenging, gives you that feeling of exhilaration, rather than needing to? Never, sometimes, or often. Now you can jot that little question down, or you can take a note from the screen, whatever it might be, from the slide. Give you a couple of seconds there. Is it a want or a need for you? And if you're just starting out in fitness and you're starting this whole health and fitness journey, it probably is a need. You know, that's okay. But eventually we want it to be a want. Alrighty, roll on. Number 4, you've got to balance, or do you balance, tough and easy sessions? Do you balance overload and recovery? Now this is one of the most critical elements of good, healthy fitness. You don't do too much and you don't do too little. And you understand when you need a rest and recovery session, and you don't flog yourself like a dead horse, and you understand when you need to work a little harder as well. So balancing overload with recovery is really important. Now there's a couple of little case studies I want to tell you about. I train a girl, she's super fit, she's always been a runner. She runs because she wants that mental space and she loves it, it's sort of meditative for her. The idea of having a rest day is totally foreign to her. But she has just locked into doing a really big event, and she's going to have to force herself to rest. Because if she doesn't, her likelihood of finishing that event is very slim. Now, recovery aids muscle growth. It also gives you a chance to relax. We don't need to be in a state of overload and stress and muscular fatigue all of the time to improve our fitness. Another lady who I've trained very recently, she basically just was running and flogging herself every day. She wouldn't give herself a day off. She was doing exercise because she thought she needed to for weight loss, and she was really working hard every day. And she wasn't losing any weight. She wasn't any happier. It wasn't until she started to decrease the number of workouts, increase the effectiveness of the workouts she was doing. So this is how the hub works. We actually make those sessions bang for your buck. When you do them well. The days you have an easier session, you do them easy. Balancing overload and recovery is critical for physical fitness performance, but also mental capacity and space. Nobody can work effectively if they're always thinking about, oh my God, I can't be happy unless I go for my run today. You need to just lower down that bar just slightly. Remember, balancing overload with recovery gives your body and mind a chance to make the most of the session you did yesterday or the day before. Without it, that's lost, gone, next session, flogging ourselves again. We're in a state of stress all the time. And that does not have any good outcomes for our body or mind. So here's your question. I plan my fitness and balance tough and easy sessions with recovery days. Never, sometimes, or often. So if you've been exercising and you've been flogging yourself every single day for lots of set time, like 40 minutes, hour, whatever it might be, that's not balancing overload with recovery. That's overtraining. So do you balance your sessions, tough and easy recovery days as well? Okay, rolling on to number 5, we're halfway. This is an important one. Do you feel like you have guilt-free rest days and crap food days? Really odd one, I know, but we have so many people in the hub that I've trained over the years, and even myself, that as soon as they eat something crappy or have a rest day away from training, they feel immediately guilty. And the stress and the anxiety associated with that has a bigger negative impact on your body and mind than actually eating the crappy food. It's our mindset associated with, oh no, I've failed again. I've eaten that one Tim Tam over the last 14 days and everything else I've done beforehand is a waste. It's not true. Yes, there is a limit to how many crappy food days you can have. If you're having crappy food days every day, well, that's not so good. But stick to the 80-20 rule, as Stacey Curcio says. 80% healthy, nourishing, nutritious food. 20% celebration food. Every now and again food. Food that's sort of just, oh yeah, I'll have a biscuit. But as soon as you start to just, don't stress about every single thing you put in your mouth and just look at it as a food that, oh yeah, look, I'm going to have that Tim Tam. I'm not going to binge on the whole packet because I could if I wanted to, but I'm not. I'm just going to have one and that'll be it. That'll be good. Done deal. And I'm not going to feel guilty at it because I'm going to enjoy it. So do you feel okay about having the odd crappy food day? And do you feel okay about having rest days? As I explained just in the step before, the attitude before, some people just can't cope with having a day off exercise. So really, a healthy approach to fitness is being able to have a guilt-free rest day and a guilt-free crappy food day and not apologize for it. If it becomes a habit that you're doing every second day, yes, it's an issue and it will be having an impact on your health and fitness. But when it's just something that you're haphazardly having or you're at a dinner party, it's fine. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the company. Take your time to eat that crappy food, whatever it might be, and move on. Don't think about it. All right, so question. I include rest days into my fitness schedule without feeling guilty or lazy. That's the first part. I have the odd, occasional crappy food day. I eat it, I forget about it. Never, sometimes, or often. I just want you to write whatever comes to mind with that question, because you might be thinking, oh yeah, I always feel guilty as soon as the chocolates touch my mouth, but I can't stop myself. Write a little story there. That's good, guys. Time is up. We are rolling on to number 6. Oh, this is a good one and one I always bang out about. Having patience with progress is such a critical attitude to have. You've got to show patience. You've got to be patient with yourself and know and understand that about changing anything. It takes time. Celebrate the small wins. Lower the bar with the urgency of something, of being progressive, and just be patient with yourself, because that's when you'll actually progress more. So I just want to talk a little bit about this in relation to health and fitness, and especially the hub, because you guys know the hub is not a boot camp, whiz bang, get in there, out you go, 8 weeks, we starve you within an inch of your life, flog you like a dog, and then you go on your merry way. The hub is not like that. And I never want it to be. The hub is a place where you lock in for whatever amount of time you want. People often sign up for 12 months because it's one of those types of places and programs that need to fit with your life. And you can do as more or as little as you like as long as you are doing something. Now, so many people are cruelled by the marketing that goes on with health and fitness. Get in here, 8 weeks, you'll have a bikini body. Get in here, 10 weeks, you'll lose 20 kilos. I mean, we're fed this information. Some people make that happen. I don't know how, but they do. And I'm dead certain there's a lot of starving going on and a lot of rebound dieting. So I'm dead certain. However, there is a lot of confusion in the marketing world when it comes to how much progress you can make over time. For example, I just saw a recent success story from a really well-known fitness trainer and program online, and it was said, you know, I listened to Sarah's story. She lost 42 kilos, and they didn't say how long. Anyway, when you read further into the story, she had done 7 rounds of that program, which actually accumulated to 85 weeks. So she lost 40 kilos in 85 weeks, which is darn impressive and good on her. However, they pitched it as if she'd lost it in 12. And so everyone reading that thinks it's possible for that to happen and it's actually healthy and safe. Whereas Stacey and I don't believe in that. We believe in a long-term, slow, the weight loss will come off and never go back on. A new way of eating will be formed, a new approach to food, a new philosophy behind fitness will be formed, and it will be with you for life. Rebound dieting, rebound fitness, yo-yo, crappy things like that just have no place in real success and really feeling the benefits of being healthy and fit. If you're going to go on something and then off it and then all over the shop, your body is totally confused about what the hell you're doing. Just maintaining a nice steady approach to good healthy food and a nice good healthy approach to fitness is when the magic truly happens. Now, it happens sooner for some, later for others. Everybody is so uniquely different. Just because one person loses weight in the first 5 weeks doesn't mean you will. We are all made differently, and we have all underlying issues that impact on our attitude, but also our body systems. I can't tell you how many people come into the hub and say, you know, I'm feeling really fed up because I haven't progressed with my weight loss so much. And then we find out that they've been, you know, on hormonal treatment, their thyroid is really low. Like, it's a health investigation that we're on here. It's not a quick fix. So once we know that there's something that's not quite right and this person's feeling this way, they go and get tests. They come back and tell us. We structure the program and the food around that, and it's amazing what happens. But it takes people to investigate, to actually, you know, learn about their body, learn about what's happening to them, what's inhibiting them, what's working for them. Some people need more exercise than others. Some people need more relaxation, meditation, stretching, yoga, cycling, running. There's every different type of recipe for every different type of person. You've just got to be patient with finding it out. So please don't rush progress. It's patiently learning about what's best for you, how your body's reacting to this, what your body needs, what you need, all those sorts of elements that constitute a really good long-term attitude to health and fitness. We are changing your norm. We're not changing it for 8 weeks. We are changing it for life. And that is one of the most critical factors when it comes to health and fitness. Changing your approach to food and exercise for life. So, here's the question after a very long story. I'm patient with my own progress and improvements. See how you answer that one. Never, sometimes, often. See how that works. Okay, time is up. We've got to keep rolling here. Number 7. Ooh, this is a good one, especially for so many people who I train on properties with no gyms in sight, and actually so many people I train that will never step into a gym or hate gyms or are time poor with kids or whatever it might be. So it's all about resourcefulness. Listen to this. Do you see opportunities beyond the barriers of time, location, equipment, travel, weather, or cost? Do you see the opportunities to fit in fitness above all those barriers? Because I'm telling you it's possible. It's absolutely possible. There has never, ever been a situation where I have thought, oh, I don't know what to tell this person to do. There's nothing that they can do. I've never been approached with that situation. I challenge you to come up with a situation apart from if the person's hospitalised and totally in a brace or plaster. Tell me, and even then I think I'd probably have something, but tell me something, or tell me any situation that you have that challenges you with time, equipment, location, whatever it might be, and I will give you at least 10 things that you can do. Absolutely. There is no such thing as having no time for fitness. Time is one of those barriers we have to thinking we can't do anything. It's just a lame excuse, I've decided, because there is an exercise for any amount of time and a time for any amount of exercise. There's always something that you can do, and I can guarantee you that if you kept on seeing the opportunities in those little snippets of time, then the benefits would be fourfold. But it's because people think, oh, it's only 2 minutes. There's no good in that. So they don't do it. But imagine if you did 2 minutes every single day for a year. There's so much benefit in that. There is so much benefit in that. We just got to believe that it's possible and be disciplined enough to do it. So here's the question for you. Do you see the opportunities beyond the barriers? Never? Sometimes, often. Now, if you're a person that's often saying, oh, it's too hot, it's too cold, it's too dark, it's too early, I'm too tired, I'm too wired, I'm too hungry, the kids are too whingy, I've worked too hard, whatever it might be, if you're always coming up with excuses around those barriers, I don't have this piece of gear, my treadmill's broken, like there's so many things that people say to sort of allow themselves an out. So what do you say? Do you do it never, sometimes, or often? Okay, number 8. Do you float your own boat? Now this sounds like, oh, we're going sailing, ripper, or let's go, kayaking on the dam, way, yay. No, floating your own boat means, do you know what type of fitness, activity, exercise, whatever frame you want to put in, what do you enjoy doing, and do you actually do it? So this is common when it's like people signing up to the program and going, oh, what am I going to do? I'm not a runner. It's okay if you're not a runner. Running is not the be-all and end-all of fitness. Yeah, it keeps you fit, but there's a bucket load of other stuff you can do to be fit too. Actually, heaps of other stuff. So my story, for example, is I had a knee reconstruction. Now before that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm always going for a run. That was my go-to. I'll just go for a run. It wasn't until I had a knee reconstruction that I had to do other things besides run. And that really challenged me, and my fitness improved. Because I was doing exercise that I hadn't done before. I was moving different muscle groups. I was doing more strength work. All because I couldn't just rely on going for a run all the time to help me with my fitness and make me feel good. I had to think outside the square. Now, this question or attitude about floating your own boat, do you choose your activities, or do you get sort of stereotyped into thinking you should do this type of activity? Now, there's lots of different ways of moving, and I'm not one to say that only this type of exercise is good. Guess what? They're all good. It's the combination that you put them together. It's the consistency that they happen in with your life. It's how effective you are at completing that, and if you stay injury-free. That's what's important. The makeup of what sessions you do, what type of cardio choices you do, all that sort of stuff, that's really comes back to what you enjoy doing and what's beneficial for you. So here's the question. Are you happy to choose your own fitness activities and food on whether it fits with what you like and your lifestyle? So after you've created this wonderful knowledge base about what types of fitness activities are beneficial for you, do you actually then go and choose the ones that are fun and the ones that float your own boat? After you've learned all of this wonderful nutritional advice about what to eat, how to eat, how much to eat, all those sorts of things, do you then go and feel like you're empowered enough to go and choose your own foods and apply that to what you've got available to you. Like, for example, if you're living out in the middle of nowhere, we can't just always pluck up fresh fruit and veg. So do you start a garden? Do you make the most of frozen veg and fruit? Like, what is it that you do? So do you float your own boat when it comes to fitness and nutritional choices? Never, sometimes, or often. We're nearly there. That's number 8. Floating your own boat. What a great attitude to have. Just going into it, feeling confident that you're just going to make the best of whatever situation you're in. You're going to choose stuff that works for you. Alrighty, number 9. Your motivation comes from within. Yes, I know that people hire a trainer like me, and I do love it, motivating people and really getting some bang and putting some punch into their life when it comes to fitness and feeling fit and fiery. Yes, we all need to borrow motivation from people every now and again. I do. I no doubt you have in the past when it comes to fitness or business, whatever it might be. We all borrow motivation. We steal it and we take it on for ourselves, and it helps us out. Innately, in the long term, it's got to come from you. You got to make your own. You got to get on that motivational train. You got to believe in yourself. There's a couple of strategies that can really help you with that, and one is having a purpose that means something significant to you. So if you're wanting to maintain motivation, well, you got to have a purpose. What are you doing it for? What's your big driving force? If there's no driving force, then that means somebody's behind you pushing the living hell out of you, instead of that ultimate purpose driving you to keep going. Instead, you're relying on people to get behind you and give you a shove all of the time. It's okay every now and again, and we all need it. We all do. So don't feel like you're a failure just because you need a trainer. In fact, it's a really good way of acknowledging you need it. Most people never acknowledge they need a trainer. I can go it alone. Only does years on end, they still haven't done anything. It's an awesome idea to reach out and get support, get help. Get a fitness buddy, get a coach, pick me, get a motivator, a mentor, whoever it might be. Somebody that can help you get started with motivation, but know that your driving force, your purpose, will be the thing that keeps you going. So here's the question. I stay motivated from my own belief in the importance of being healthy and fit. Do you? Now that belief is different for everybody. What it means to you is different from what it means to me. So is that belief and that motivation within you at the moment, or is it something that you're borrowing? Never, sometimes, or often. Good. Final attitude and action. Final attitude and action. Are you ready? A positive self-story. Yep, it's true. Now, you may not be there yet. You may still be beating yourself up about the diet you failed 3 years ago. You might still be beating yourself up about spending all that money on the gym and never going. You might still be beating yourself up about eating way too many chocolate thick shakes when you were pregnant with your second child. Whatever it might be. Honestly, the time is now to start telling yourself a different story about who you are and what you are capable of achieving. Now, I can't tell you how empowering that is and how much impact that attitude has on whether you are successful in your health and fitness journey. People that are constantly beating up on themselves and saying, I'm not good enough, I've failed again, I'm never going to do this, well, they innately never do. And they innately fail. You've got to be positive about who you are and what's capable of you. And as soon as you turn that around, my goodness me, watch out, here you come. Now, we live in this country where it's a bit of a tall poppy syndrome to think that you can nail something. And I don't care whether you tell anyone or everyone. But one of the most important things is to make sure that you believe it for yourself before you go sharing it with the world. Share it with yourself. Make sure your positive story is something that you truly believe, and then you won't need to get anybody else's approval for it. You'll have your own. So really, the underpinning attitude is having a positive self-story on who you are and what you are capable of achieving. what's capable, what you really innately want. So here's the question. I regularly think positively about who I am and what I can achieve. Never, sometimes, often. Now, we always beat up on ourselves, don't we? We're always giving ourselves an uppercut about, oh, I should have done this. Oh, I wish I was better at that. Oh, bugger, I failed again. But it always comes back to how long we have that attitude for and whether we get the hell over it and move on and get on with the job of improving. So if you stick in the depths of that I'm so useless for months and years, then you ain't going nowhere. But what you do have to do is turn it around. No, I'm not going to beat up on myself. It was a mistake. I learned from it. I'll improve next time. Move on. Build a bridge. So, do you think positively about who you are and what you can achieve? Never, sometimes, often. Tick, 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 tick. Okay, that is the 10. That's the 10 attitude and actions that I believe underpin a darn good health and fitness story. So, for you, you've got a few notes written about each of those 10. Here's what I want you to do now. I want you to go back and look at those slides and just figure out which ones you really want to nail. There could just be one. There could be something that stood out for you as something that was really holding you back. And I'm telling you, if you can change your attitude, then you can change the actions that come out of that. I want you to think about that one attitude that you want to nail and tell me at least one action that you have in your mind that will help you to change that attitude. It could just be that you're going to think about this or you're going to do that. It could be really simple, which is probably best. Keep it simple. But remember this, there is always something that you can do. Not everything is out of your control. These attitudes, these top 10 attitudes are within your control to change. Absolutely. They're determined by you. So honestly, if you want to make some changes to the way you look, feel, your health and fitness overall, then start with your attitude. And once you change that attitude, you'll see the opportunities way beyond the barriers. I look forward to seeing all about it. Hey, why don't you check out the Hub as well? If you're needing motivation, support, guidance on any of this stuff, then join Joy's Fitness Hub. That's my training group where I host the program, the nutritional tasks and topics that Stacey Curcio from Cultivating Wellness has put together for us. That's where we create this new norm about health and fitness. It's a new way of approaching food, fitness and motivation that is with you for life. It's not a boot camp. It's not a yo-yo diet. If you think you're going to get like 30 kilos lighter in 8 weeks, think again. However, if you want to change the way you eat, the way you feel, the way you look for life, then you need to check out the HUD. I can't wait to see you in there. Please fire away with any questions too, guys. And if you've got any comments about this webinar and what you'd like to learn more about, then please get in touch. I'm happy to help out. See you soon and thanks for listening, everybody. See ya.